Hi guys, welcome to Root Stem and welcome to the painting tutorial for this Crimson Fist Terminator Captain. Hi guys, thank you very much for joining me. In today's painting tutorial we've got a Crimson Fist Terminator Captain. Terminator Captain of course from the Leviathan box set. Yes, I am aware that the Armageddon box set is now out and I do own a copy of it. In fact, I own two lots of all the models in there as well. But you never know, in about 3 years time I might get to painting them as well. I'm hoping not, but there we are. Right, so let's crack on with today's tutorial. What I'm going to do is to kind of show you how to paint this, what colours you're going to need to use, and then we're just going to let you know what techniques you're going to need to have to be able to achieve the effects that I've achieved here today. Right, let's get this model undercoated and underway. First off, spray your models with a matte black primer. Then a zenithal spray of lead belcher. Now that's any type of silver that you want, as long as it's kind of mid-tone. So the next step is to coat the entire model in a mixture of contrast medium and Noan oil, 75% Noan oil to about 25% medium. And once that's dried, so I'm masking off as much of the silver as I possibly can to try and preserve it. So I masked off to preserve as much of the silver as I could, and then airbrushed Telesar blue all over the model. As you can see, the previous work we've done is giving it a nice bit of a highlight, and if you go over certain sections, just make sure that you clean them up as best you possibly can. I'm going to go back into the silver and work some of the silver in that's been caught, that didn't actually get masked off too well. Don't worry if you you don't need to do that if you are just using a brush with a Telesar. With the black down, we've gone and dry brushed the black using a mixture of Dark Reaper followed by an edge highlight dry brush of Administrator's Grey. Next step, we're going to paint up the face, giving it a good coat of rat skin flesh. All over wash next of Reichland flesh shade. Let's get those recesses recessed. Once dry, we're going to cut back in with some rat skin flesh, thin down, just to make sure that it's, you're going to get that nice opaqueness, making sure we're not going to get into the recess. And we'll pick out some more of the features with Cadian Flesh Tone. Finished off by highlighting just around the eyebrows, the nose, the cheeks with a little bit of Kislev flesh mixed in with the Cadian Flesh Tone and a very coarse, very small brush. And I gave the Terminator Captain some white hair, some white teeth of course, and some greying eyes just to finish it off. Next step for the Terminator Captain is to paint Rhinox hide onto particular areas. Bits that I'm wanting to be bone, bits that I'm wanting to be parchment, bits I'm wanting to be gold. Of course, like on his sword here as well. All of that is going to get painted up in different colours later on, but for the base, we're going to use Rhinox. Next step, let's get the Crimson Fists going. So over the Bestial Brown and of course the Purity Seals, we put some thin down Corn Red. I know it's a base paint, but thin it down does the trick. Feast and Red now applied to the fist to finish them off. I've also added some of Feast and Red and Evil Sun Scarlet to the Purity Seals to give them a slightly different red to the fist. Now his cloak, I have painted that ready. We're going to airbrush that, so we need to mask this model off, get the airbrush out. Cloak is down. We have got some airbrushing done with a little bit of that'll do. That'll definitely do. Right, let's start getting some of the tabarbs painted. Next up is going to be the Purity Seals. There's quite a few on this particular model. So what you need to do is just get a little bit of Carrick Stone, put that into your wet palette, make sure that it's nice and thin, and then we're just going to just kind kind of look at the model and then go in a particular direction, just one direction. Don't go up and down, try and make it side to side, of course, with your brush strokes. I'll leave bits best we can. This will dry pretty quick with it being a thinned paint. What you'll find is that you can go back in to then reinforce it. So you kind of paint it once, and once you've painted it, you're going to come back in and you're going to paint it again. But then just leaving a little bit more, leaving a little bit more of a gap. After we've painted and highlighted the wheels with Ushabti bone, I made sure that all of the bone pieces were painted with Ushabti bone, and I've gone through and painted anything that's going to be gold with Retributor Armour. Okay, we're getting on now. Parchment and gold is down. We just need to now shade them. It's going to be Agrax Surf shade, and if we've got any bone that we've painted, we're going to hit that with some Skeleton Horde. Okay, now that the wash is on, we are going to cut back in with Ushabti bone on the bones and the parchment. Make sure it's nice and thin. Get yourself a really thin brush. I'm going to be using the Army Painter Precise Detail brush for this. You cut back into the parchment, you cut back into the gold, and once you've done that on the gold, we're just going to hit it with a little tiny bit of really bright silver. I'm just going to use this old game color one that still works from Vallejo. No idea where I got this. It's a very old one, but it still works. And we're going to just kind of like do little spot highlights on the gold using that silver. So that's the next process. So Dawnstone dried. I put some Agrax Earth shade over the top, and then once that was dried, highlighted it with some Dawnstone mixed with Administratum Grey. I'm going to go in for a final highlight now with some thinned down Admin Grey. It should finish it off nicely. Great, shoulder pad has been done. Right. We now need to get a little bit of writing on this parchment. I'll show you how to do that in a sec. We also want to put a bit of blue on this sword. I just tend to use a blue glaze. If you don't have anything appropriate, kind of a Telesar blue, really watered down with the contrast medium. Works wonders. You just want a bit of a blue shade. That's what I like to do. If people want to do fancier power swords, they can do. I just like to have a hint that it's got a blue power field. Okay, so it's parchment time. Now what we're going to do here is we are going to get some wildwood on a very thin brush, and we're just going to paint little tiny lines. Now, I'm trying to make sure that they're nice and thin. If they're not thin, they're going to look a bit odd. Don't worry too much of it blob. What you're trying to get is a really nice look from a distance. Now he does have this on his shoulder pad. What I'm going to do with that is to basically put a number down, and I'm thinking I'm going to put the odd number that Crimson Fist run their veteran squads at. Right, quite happy with where he's got to. I'm just going to add the transfers, get the base done, and we can call him finished. And there we have it. The Terminator Captain is complete with sword, base, and his transfers. Well, thank you very much for joining us, guys. Please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification button if you do want to see more. Let us know how you get on with your Crimson Fists, and we'll see you in the next video.